Welcome back to another episode of the Washington Kids. I'm here to do a deep dive of the Washington Wizards roster of the 2025-2026 season. And a lot of y'all were commenting and telling me that y'all tired of just seeing my face on the camera. So I went and got some help. I got my guy, Jarrett from Stop and Pop Media. Glad that he's here to run through this roster with me. I'm going to let you have the floor, my guy, and let them know what's good with you.
Appreciate it, Fred. Thanks for having me on. So I'm Jarrett from the Stop and Pop. I have my own platform, the Stop and Pop. I also cover the Wizards and the Mystics through the Lead publication. So check out my work on the Lead and also the Stop and Pop on Substack.
Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's get right into it, man. So we'll just give our honest opinions and what we feel like these players' role is going to be like for the rest of the season. We are 4 games in. The Wizards are unfortunately 1-3, but we do got to win. It was a big win last Friday against the Mavericks. We look really good against the 76ers Tuesday night. We just couldn't. They pulled off a crazy comeback, man, and just kind of upset we were trying to get that first win at home. It would be nice to get that first win at home. What do you think about the games over the weekend? Friday, Sunday against the Hornets, and yesterday, Tuesday against the 76ers?
Yeah, yesterday I thought we had the win. We was up big in the third quarter, blew a 19-point lead. But it's a young team. They have a lot of mishaps and a lot of miscommunications. Still young, still inexperienced. Coach went with CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton to kind of close out the game. It didn't really serve them well because they had some costly turnovers, costly mistakes down the stretch. Me personally, I would have liked to see Keyshawn and Sar have the ball more in those situations just for a learning experience, even if it doesn't go well. But they had it rolling throughout most of the game with running pick and roll together. So I felt like that was really working for them. Unfortunately, Maxey went off and B had like a 20-piece split in like 25 minutes or something like that. And then Quentin Grimes went crazy in the fourth and overtime to help them get the lead. The backup bit Bonya, he came up big.
Bonya, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he came up big. Like he got like 5 blocks in the game. He had a clutch putback. It was a crazy game. The Hornets, they gave him 88 points in the second half, and ain't much you can say about that because that was crazy. Learning experiences, young, growing pains. That's how you could put it.
Yeah, I agree. Learning experiences. They got to learn how to, they're getting the lead. They need to learn how to keep the lead and not just let the game explode and just kind of get out of their hands. And I mean, I think from the Wizards, what I want to see, especially from the young guys, I want to see them compete. I don't want to see blowouts. I want to see them going toe to toe, like how Alex Sarr and Embiid were going at each other. That first quarter. I mean, I want my team to go toe to toe with these NBA teams and just gain that experience, and it could be applied to the future. So I think that we'll start with the roster. We'll start with the veterans, the 2 most important veterans on the roster. And let's start with Chris Middleton. So Chris Middleton was traded here in that Bucks deal at the trade deadline last season. And he spent about 15 games with us last season. Chris Middleton is on a expiring contract. So, based on our conversations, we identified him as a potential trade target for contenders going down the stretch, moving into the trade deadline. Chris Middleton has had some injuries the past few years. I mean, he was a number 2 option on a championship team, so he does bring championship experience. I think that with the Wizards, I think that the coaching staff needs to monitor his minutes. We don't want him to get hurt going into December or going into January, right before that trade deadline, and we're not able to extract any value out of him, which I think we should, right? He's on an expiring contract. I think that he can be helpful to a contender as maybe like a 4th option or a guy off the bench. If a team is willing to take on that contract, it will expire after the season. So it just really depends on how he looks with us and if he's healthy. Give me your opinion on Chris Middleton.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the coffin with that one. I feel like Chris, he's still a decent player. I'll be a contender to be a 4th option. The injuries have really hurt him over these last few years. But when he's healthy, he's still a really good basketball player. I feel like the unfortunate part about it is that, he opted into his contract and it's expiring. So if we had to send him somewhere, someone's going to ask for another piece or draft pick to compensate with taking on the big contract because of the risk. So it's going to be hard to probably move him, but I think Dawkins will get something done. Hopefully, that would be beneficial to the team's future still. But I feel like ultimately, Chris Middleton won't be here past the deadline.
Yeah, and let's just say in a world he does stay past the deadline, I don't think he gets in the way of the young players. He's going to help them now. And if he is here past the trade down and we really can't get anything for him, it is what it is. I think he'll still pass his knowledge on to the guys. I don't know if he will resign, right? But at least the young guys like Bilal Coulibaly, Keyshawn George, some of those, Cam Whitmore, those guys on the wing, they can learn from a vet, get the experience, and if he's with us after the trade deadline, it doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't hurt at all. So Chris Middleton, I would expect him to average. What do you think he's going to average this season or end up averaging before the deadline? I think he's in that 12, 13 point range.
Yeah, I was going to say that around 12 to 14 range. So I feel like he's going to have some breakout games, but he's going to have them steady, 10, 12, 13-point games.
Yeah. And just kind of like stabilize the floor when the young guys are on there. Like, when we're looking kind of lost out there, maybe he could settle things down and get a bucket. He was cooking against the Bucks. Remember the first game against the Bucks? He was going off a little bit. I said, okay.
I thought when that happened, I'm like, oh, we about to get Bucks Middleton back. This is what we about to do.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Chris Middleton, he's one of those, I call him the unks, man. Him and CJ McCollum got the unks on the roster. So let's move to CJ McCollum. Like CJ McCollum is just that. He's just like has been like that past 10 years, the prototypical shooting guard, efficient, three work, professional on and off the court, goes about his business. He's not in the headlines, and he's always averaged a solid dub every year in the league. And he was brought in through the Jordan Poole. And you and I talked about that a little bit, and we were surprised by the trade of Jordan Poole getting traded. But we did get CJ McCollum back, which I think that he will most definitely be moved at the deadline. He will have value. Somebody can use CJ McCollum to contend in the playoffs next year. I think that as long as he stays healthy, obviously, he's always done that, he will be traded at the deadline. And, he had a slow start to the season, which was a little surprising in my opinion, but he's really picked it up lately. I think he's averaging like 13 points right now. I think he will. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, is he going to get it up to a dub, or do you think it's going to be under a dub for the season? Is this that season where, I think he's been like consistent for 8 years now, averaging a dub? I don't have the right number in my mind, but is this that season where he doesn't average a dub? I mean, what do you think? What do you think about CJ McCollum?
I think he's 10 seasons now straight averaging a dub.
10. Okay.
But he's averaging 13 right now. But I don't know. Like, he's been struggling a little bit lately. To start the season, he's getting good looks, so I'm not sure what the situation is. I guess it's probably him not having the ball in his hands as much because the team's kind of doing it by committees. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players and averaging double figures right now. I do feel like he still have a lot of value, like for a contender. The health factor definitely is a plus for him because he relatively does play a lot of games. So a team will definitely be looking to acquire him at the deadline. Maybe Houston could use him, or a team that needs a point guard. CJ is a combo guard. He could play shooting guard, but the last few years he's been playing point guard with New Orleans. So I feel like he has a lot of value. Will this be the season that he doesn't average 20? I don't know. I'm starting to think if he stays with the Wizards, he won't average 20, but if he gets moved, his average will go back up to 20. So I can see him probably average like 15 with the Wizards, and then he goes somewhere, he'll average like 20.
Yeah, I can see that too. Because I think that we all thought that McCollum would kind of lead this offense to begin the season. We didn't expect the coaching staff to put the ball in Keyshawn George's hands more often, and now we're seeing more Trey Johnson having the ball in his hands. So we're going to talk about those guys, but yeah, I agree. CJ McCollum has been getting good looks, and I'm like, he usually hit that, or man, that's that's a solid look. Like any NBA player would love to have that look. And it just hasn't been dropping, but he's had some pretty good games more recently compared to the start. So something to monitor, but McCollum is McCollum. He's known in the league, and he'll definitely be traded. I don't think he'll be here after the trade deadline, and I think that'll open up minutes for some of the other young players that we're going to talk about later. But McCollum's a vet, and I think that we can definitely get. I definitely think we can get some value out of him. Maybe a late pick, maybe a young prospect that Will Dawkins had been looking at in previous drafts and didn't make a move.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I think that we'll definitely get some kind of asset back as far as a draft pick or a young player that we hope can pop.
Yeah, agree with that 100%.
Yeah, for sure. So I think we're more excited to talk about the young guys because this is our future here, our core. So we're going to start with a guy that had a very big, he's been balling lately. His last game against 76ers, man, he had a 30-piece, man, 30-piece. Alex Sarr, our number 2 pick last year, and what was considered a very weak draft. But looking back, it might not be that weak for us, right? Starting with Alex Sarr, right? Big man who can do a lot of things on the floor. What I noticed from him at Media Day, he talked about how he's put on weight, which that's something that caught my eye. I think he's playing at 205 last year. He's up to 220. So he gained around 15, 20 pounds. I like it. And I wanted to see how he would use that gain weight on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been very aggressive in the paint, in and around the basket, which is what you want from your big man, right? I noticed that he's not shooting a lot of threes. Like last year, he chucked up a lot of threes last year, or he would be a little hesitant and kind of just pull up for like a mid-range jumper or something close to the basket. But now he's been making it an emphasis to get in and around the basket and like throw it down. Like he had a poster against that center from the Hornets. The big white boy. I don't know his name, but
Yeah.
yeah, he had a poster.
I remember
And
that. Yeah.
he was going at Embiid, and Embiid was going balet's go straight here. So I like what I'm seeing from Alex Sarr. He looks like he's going to be, man, I mean, I think he's averaging like 15 and 8 right now. I can definitely see that getting up to like 19 and 8 or 19 and
He's actually at 19.5 right now.
He's
at
okay.
19.5, 8.8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists in 2 blocks.
Yo, that's exciting, especially those 2 blocks. And I do want to ask you a question. And you could talk about Alex Sarr and then answer the question. Do you think Alex Sarr's long-term position is at the 5, or is he more of a 4, or is he more of a 4 that'll play spot minutes at 5, or is he going to be a full-time 5? Just want to see your opinion on that.
That's a good question. Last year, I know they started trying to experiment with him at the 4 when Valanciunas was still there. Long term, I think if he gets, still developed strength and everything, I feel like he could be a center. But I feel like right now, he could probably play some 4 right now, but I don't think we have like a legit center who's going to be able to like really rebound the ball other than himself and probably Bagley, who's going to be inside to do a lot of the dirty work. But I don't know, man. I feel like he's been really taking that ascension as a big. I said last year when season was progressing, I was like, he needs to study like Anthony Davis, Giannis, Evan Mobley, like those types of bigs who came in like really wiry, skinny, and then develop that body and then that skill set because they're really versatile as far as handling the ball, defending multiple positions. And I feel like that's Sarr's ceiling. And for him, the emphasis on attacking the rim shows that he's willing to, keep working and not just settle for threes and settle for like little floaters in between. Like he wants to get to the basket. He wants to dunk on you. Like he's going at these bigs. Like it was really encouraging to see him going at Embiid like that last night. And Embiid is a big dude. Like that's 300 pounds right there. And Sarr's 220, 225, 230. And he's going at him and he's muscling him. That's a really encouraging sign. He was drafted number 2, and last night he showed why he was drafted number 2.
he's been looking like a number 2 pick. I said that to myself as well, and it's exciting. It's exciting when your high draft picks are doing what they're supposed to do. That's why you draft them high, because these are supposed to be a centerpiece of your franchise moving forward. One of your guys, one of your go-to options. And yeah, he looks good defensively. He looks good offensively. And I even seen him bringing the ball up the court a
Yeah.
little bit. Yep.
He had 5 this last night.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think Sar could now, if he's at 19 right now, you never know. I don't think he might not average this season, but I can definitely see him being a 20 and 10 type of guy. I would like to, there's some games where would like to see him hit the boards a little bit more, or
Mhm.
just be more consistent from game to game. But Sar is definitely he's answering the questions that the fans have right now. What do we have in Sar? And he's showing it. He's showing that he can be a guy, one of our guys moving forward for sure. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
definitely agree with that. I feel like he's showing that he's that centerpiece. Like, he's showing that he's that guy that we can possibly build around as a big. The question is, long term, will he be a center or power forward? We gotta figure that out. I feel like if we go out and get like a veteran big to help him, and then they seem to play well together, then yeah, I feel like he'll be able to play some 4. But right now, we don't have a true banging 5 other than himself and Bagley. But Bagley is kind of skinny too, like he's wiry, and Bagley does get hurt pretty often as well. So I feel like for now we had to be safe with Sar. Maybe if we move Middleton, we could get a young big in coming back, or the draft, something like that. Hey, I mean, if we get the Boozer kid who plays the 4, we're gonna have to keep Sar at the 5, but that's a whole nother story.
Alex Sarr and Marvin Bagley being the only true bigs on our roster. Isn't that funny? How Will Dawkins constructed this roster where we only have 2 bigs, and we don't have another thing to mention, we don't have a true point guard. I mean, we all know this roster is constructed to lose games, because we do have to protect that pick that conveys to the New York Knicks that's top 8 protected. We got to get a top 8 draft pick next year. So it's funny that, the way the roster's constructed, he's like, all right, well, we're going to try Sar at 5.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get him a decent guy to back him up, but then that's it, really. There's no other big men on the roster. So somebody's got to get boards. Sar, let's get that. You said he's averaging 8, 7. Let's get it up to 10, man. I'd love to see him. I love to see him. Hey, the dream for your franchise drafted big man is to average a double-double. And be a defensive threat, right? In the paint, protect the rim. So Sar, we both excited about it. Stamped by his name. And we're going to move on to his countrymen. They both got that French connection, man. Bilal Coulibaly, who's coming back tomorrow. You told me that, right? He's coming back tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
All
back tomorrow.
That's going to be interesting. The game is going to be interesting tomorrow. I want to see how the minutes are divvied up. He had a right thumb surgery, so I don't think that's something that should really limit him as far as like a minute restriction, because it's not a lower extremity type of injury such as a knee, an ankle, a foot. So I think Coulibaly will be ready to go. So we're going to talk about Coulibaly, and he's a guy that we drafted. He was the first to kick off the rebuild. He was drafted the same year as his other countryman, Wemby, who's going absolutely nuts right now, taking over the league. But Coulibaly has shown that he could be a defensive anchor on this team moving forward. He's shown flashes on the offensive end. We'd like to see him be a little bit more complete on that offensive end, but we know that Coulibaly can go out there and guard the opposing player's best offensive threat. And another thing, I hope this doesn't continue or become a trend with him as far as injuries, but we've seen him be injured before, I think in all 3 of his seasons, definitely last season, and now this offseason he got hurt in Euro Cup. Glad to see him back though, pretty early into the season, and he's going to be an interesting guy to start the season. I think that he's got a lot of different type of ceilings. I've heard people mention, and I mean this might be a little too high, but a Kawhi Leonard type of player.
I've heard
Okay.
to
Okay. But maybe a light version to be like very honest. Or he could just end up being a very high end 3-and-D type of guy, right? So what do you think about Bilal Coulibaly? We're gonna talk about the guy next. We're gonna talk about kind of like plays his position. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these two share the court together and who gets more minutes. We're talking about Keyshawn George, but go ahead.
yeah,
Give me more about Bilal Coulibaly, please.
think Bilal, like we said, ceiling, high end 3D guy, super high ceiling, Kawhi Leonard. I feel like for him, the next step is becoming a consistent offensive player, like you said. It's really the jumper. That's really what it comes down to, the jumper. And also like staying engaged on offense because he showed flashes as well as being a good ball handler, making decisions off the pick and roll. Sometimes he kind of coasts on offense and kind of forget he's on the court on at least on that side of the ball. You kind of forget he's on the court. I feel like, he just got to keep up the aggression, even if it's just, he's coming off of cuts, pin downs, things like that, and kind of just getting stuff around the basket because he's super athletic. So he can go in and just dump on anybody. So even if he's doing stuff like that, it doesn't need to be the guy handling the ball the whole time or 50% of the time because we have a lot of ball handlers on this team. So if he can, and probably play pick and roll with Keyshawn. So like coming back to what you're saying about them playing together, Keyshawn's been handling the ball a lot more. Both of them are about 6'8", 6'10", so you can run a nice pick and roll with them too. So I feel like that could be a good little tandem. When it comes down to the wing minutes, that's the day we got to figure out because, we got Middleton, we got Keyshawn, we got Corey Kisper, got Trey, yeah, Cam Whitmore. So it's a lot. Like, so it's like, how are we going to juggle all these minutes? Because Bilal, rightfully so, he's a high draft pick, so he's going to get minutes with this team. He's going to have to earn more minutes, but he's going to get some solid, probably 20 minutes a game at least. It's going to be interesting to see how the coaching staff figures out how to work everybody into the cahoots of minutes. Because I'm eager to see how this is going to work. Because Champagne seems like he's been kind of the odd man out. So it's like,
Yeah, I don't like
yeah,
that. We're gonna talk about that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and Bilal, and when you kind of project and you look forward to if Bilal is a guy that's going to be with our core moving forward, and Keyshawn George, who we're going to talk about next, is going to be a guy moving forward with our core. Just imagine those two playing next to each other. Doesn't it look really good defensively? Number one, and doesn't it look good offensively if Bilal can become one of those prototypes that we talked about? Maybe if he becomes more of a high end 3-and-D guy and makes good cuts and can be a playmaker, because we saw that last season. I saw that before he got hurt last season. He was definitely making plays. This is how you win. Wings. I think wings and playmaking wings, guys who can do things with the ball in their hand that are more jumbo or taller for their positions. This is how we win. All right, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but let's look a little bit north from us. Let's look at the Celtics. They have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They won a chip. This is the type of pairing I think you dream of. Two wings that can just do it all, right? So I think it's going to be an exciting month of Wizards basketball, and also interesting to see who's going to be that odd man out, man. Is it Cam Whitmore, which is, I do want to see more of him. Is it Kispert? Who is it, right? So Coach Keith and his staff, they got a lot of work to do as far as managing those minutes, and we'll see how it goes. So Bilal, we just want to see that next step. We want to see that next step from Bilal. And this will be his third season. And this is usually when guys start to make their jump. Year 2, show their improvement. Year 3. So we'll see. We'll see what we have. Let's move on to the next guy that we're pretty excited to talk about, Keyshawn George, who's had a season that it started off very well from him. He's averaging what? 9, I think 5 assists. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep. Oh, I'm looking at per 36.
Yeah, no worries.
20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. 1 steal and 1.5 block.
Okay, I like how you add the defensive stats. It is very important for that stat line. Go look at Wemby's stat line night after night. The man has like 4 or 5 blocks, 2 steals. Like when you filling out the stat sheet like that, which Alex Sarr has done, which is Keyshawn George has done, it really shows that you're a complete player. And Keyshawn George is showing that he has the potential to be a complete player in this league, man. And you and I talked even before preseason. I think that we had our discussions. I was like, yo, we were like, Keyshawn George looks like that breakout, man. Like Keyshawn George looks like the guy that can make that jump, especially since Koulibaly wasn't starting the season with us. So we were like, oh, he's going to have a chance to really showcase himself. I don't know if we really I don't think if anybody really forecasted what he's doing right now, though, because the team is letting him handle the ball. And I don't think that I thought that he would be handling the ball and having playmaking duties as much as they're giving to him right now. And it's interesting. He's doing a good job. What I've noticed about him, he's calm on the court. He's calm. He's cool. He's collective. He takes his time. He knows how to use his length, his height, and his body to get easy layups and get into the paint. He knows when to take advantage when they have little guys on him. And what I noticed is Keyshawn George has also been guarding the opposing team's best player. And it's like, whoa, what do we have here, man? Because this guy is like smooth, 6'8", shoot threes, initiate offense, play defense. Tell me what you think about Keyshawn George.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had the expectation that he was going to make a jump, but I think it's going to be this type of jump as far as I thought the defensive side, like he was going to make that jump. Like he showed flashes last year. He was guarding team's best players. Like he guarded Giannis. He guarded the LaMelos when Bilal wasn't guarded him. He guarded anybody. And then this season, becoming basically a primary ball handler, still give you high level defense. The playmaking is improved. The defense, the rebounding. Like to me, he has the trajectory to be a triple double threat because of the way he's filling out the stat sheet. It's like 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and then still give you the defense numbers. It's amazing to see because we didn't expect this. We did not expect this at all. So I feel like he's our star of the future. Like I feel like Sar and Keyshawn, those are the two guys. We really got something with these two. Like we have to keep those two together, two-way players, we set. And we could just build around those two. And even with Bilal, like Bilal comes back, he's 15 points, still give you defense, him too.
It does look like Keyshawn is like the leader of the team right now.
Well, he did say that the coaching staff told him to take a bigger leap on the court and as far as leadership as well. So being able to be vocal and take kind of ownership of the team and make it be, I'm the guy on the court. I'm going to lead these guys. I'm going to set up everybody. And then he said he was also lifting every day, 2 times a day, putting in the work. So like this kid is really serious about the craft. He's really about getting better, and that's what I really admire about him because you've seen the progression between last season, began the season, he struggled from deep. And then once the All-Star break came around, the 3-point shot just started falling for him. And it was like, how do you get just like that, figure out 3-ball that fast? And it's like now he's starting to put everything else together.
Yeah. And if you watch the way Keyshawn George plays, it gives off, I'm not saying a Luka vibe, but it gives off that European style of play. And I don't think a lot of people know that Keyshawn George was born in Switzerland and he played club ball in France. So his development of basketball through his childhood, through his teenage years was different from how an American has developed their game as they're coming up through their childhood and teenage years. He's probably playing against grown men a lot. And it's just the way he's so calm on the court, the way he involves his teammates and use his body. Like he's not the quickest guy on the court. He's not the fastest guy out there, but he's getting to the basket. And it's great to see. I don't think the Wizards have had a player like this. I don't, I'm trying to recall, but usually the wings that we draft or the wings we have, they're just guys on the wing that just shoot threes or play defense, right? So it's exciting to see that we have a 6'8" guy that can kind of do it all on the court. And I'm interested to see that if he can keep this progress that he's shown us up throughout the season.
Yeah, same. He struggled the game against
The Hornets.
Hornets, yeah. But it was foul trouble, and then, he's kind of getting used to being on top of the scouting report as well.
Yeah, that's true.
A journalist yesterday during the press conference actually asked him about that. He straight up said he don't care about being on the top of the scouting report. He's gonna get out there. He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna help his team get wins,
I like
and
it.
that's the mentality you gotta have. Like, whatever the other team's gonna throw at me, I'm gonna figure out a way to impact the game. So that's the mentality that these young players need to have. I love it.
Yep. And another thing to add on is that, you know, he was started off guarding LaMelo that game. And LaMelo's a very, very tough guard because he's so up and down. You have to put a lot of energy into guarding him. He's giving you a lot on the on offense. So, you know, also I think as Keyshawn gets better, he'll start to learn how to balance his energy on both ends, but also his counterpart Bilal Coulibaly coming back helps with the defensive end and takes a little pressure off of him. So, like I said, and like you said, we're very interested to see how these two work together on the court because we didn't really get to see too much of them on the court together last season. And now we're going to see better versions of them on the court together. So, excited to see that. We're going to move on because those are three guys that I think you and I are really excited to talk about. We're going to move on to Bub Carrington. Bub Carrington is the local guy. He's from Baltimore. I like Bub. Bub was drafted last year. We got Bub in that. So basically, when we traded Denny Abdia, which, you know, I was surprised when we traded Denny. I was always a Denny fan from the beginning. And I made a mistake when I said that we've never had a player like Keyshawn George on the roster. Denny's actually, you know, look at what Denny's
He
doing
was
right
kind of
now.
that guy
Yeah,
on the
he was kind of that.
trajectory.
Yeah. Yeah, and look what he was doing with us, right? And now look what he's doing with the Blazers. Now, I don't regret us trading Denny for that draft pick to draft Bub. The jury's still out on Bub. And if we still had Denny on the roster, would Keyshawn George be doing what he's doing right now? You know, would he have the minutes to do what he's doing? Would he be able to have the touches, right? So everything works out. We can't dwell on the past, but we are with Bub. I do think I think they want to see if Bub can be a guy, he can be a starter. I do think they want him to be the lead guard. I don't know if he can be a lead guard. I don't know. I'm not sure. He hasn't had the greatest start to the season. I think he's still working through some things. I think last game I was watching the game and Bub got out on the break, pulled up for a pull up three, and he hit it. And I was like, man, he needed that. Like he really needed that to get the motor going, to get his confidence going. He's been a little off to start the season. But what I have noticed, the positives, is that even though the shot hasn't really been falling, he's been trying to get to the basket. He's just not really finishing. He doesn't have like the creativity to finish yet. He's impacting on the court in other areas. So he is getting assists. He is getting rebounds. He is out there asserting himself on defense. I'm not saying he's a stopper, but you can see the effort from him on defense at the point of contact at the point of contact at the top of the key when the other players bring the ball up. You know, the jury's still out on Bub. I don't know if he's a starter or is he just a high end backup. You know, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Bub? I think the fan base is pretty split on Bub Carrington at this point. You know, I'm sure you see on Twitter a lot of people talking trash about Bub, but then you still have the people that believe in him. So
Yeah.
where are you at with it?
You know, I still believe in him. I still believe he could be a starting guard for us.
Okay.
I do feel like, you know, if his jumper's not going, then it's really hard for him to get going offensively. Like him hitting that 1-2 pull up, you know, he's not particularly super great finishing around the rim, but he has his moments. But I don't know. I mean, if they decide to have him come off the bench for a little bit, maybe that'll get his confidence going. Running with that second unit, and he's be able to probably have the ball more of his hands. Because I feel like with this lineup that they have now, it's like Keyshawn, CJ, Chris, they all have the ball in their hands, and Chris doesn't have it as much as he used to, but he still has it at times. And then Sar, you know, who's taking the ascension as well offensively. So that's four players who essentially don't have the ball in their hands. So Bub is kind of like the odd man out, just kind of hanging in the corner. So I feel like if him come off the bench, it'll be good for him because he'll have basically the lead guard off the bench role where we don't necessarily have like a guard who can really create off the bench. So yeah, I feel like if they decide to do that, and then him and Trey Johnson together would probably look really good. You know, them two together, and then you got Cam and everything. But I mean, I still believe in him. I still think
Only 19.
he's only 19. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's young, so it's like that's why I still believe in him. Like,
Yes.
he got plenty of time to develop. Like he was one of the youngest rookies last year, so I think he played 82 games last year.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
he led all rookies in minutes last year too.
yep, he did. And goes on top of that, him, Sar, and Keyshawn all have the record for a rookie trio to have 100 piece. So I'm like, like I believe in him. Like I believe in that core unit. So I'm giving him time. Like I'm giving him grace. Still the start of the season, 4 games in. And then plus, I don't know how much basketball he played this offseason because he didn't play in all like Eurobasket and America Cup like Keyshawn,
True.
Bilal,
Yeah.
Star
Yeah.
did. So he's probably still rusty. Like these other guys, they had like a whole summer of playing real competitive basketball for their countries at that, which is super competitive. Bub probably just played, locally in Baltimore and everything. I'm giving him time. I feel like he's gonna turn it around very soon.
Yeah, Bub was probably out there cooking dudes like me at the LA Fitness or something. You know what I mean? But no, I do believe in Bub, and even if he doesn't end up being a starter for us long term, I do think he can be a high end backup who just just kills the second units, man, and lead the second unit and go against those second unit players. So we do believe in Bub. I think he is going to be a part of this core moving forward. I think right now this season, and even when a guy like CJ McCollum is off the roster, you know what I mean? Maybe you'll see him blossom more when he has the ball in his hands, and he can be a little bit more confident as he gets more touches. I think that's important as well. So yeah, Bub, keep doing you. Keep the confidence up. I do think that when he's driving and he's getting downhill to the rim, I think he should start looking to initiate contact instead of trying to finish all the time. So get those free throws. Get to the line and get your rhythm going. I was listening today. I think I was on ESPN. The free throws is the refs are calling a lot of fouls this season.
Yeah.
And players are taking a lot of free throws. I think Austin Reeves took like 18 the other day when he went off for 50, which
Yeah.
is crazy. So, Bub, take advantage of that. Get downhill, get some contact, man. So, something that he can work on and develop moving forward. Next guy we want to talk about, real excited. Trey Johnson, man. Trey Johnson has that J work looked like butter. I mean, it is smooth, man. Muy suave. It's just like the first game, I was like, and we're gonna talk about this guy next, but Cam Whitmore, him and Cam Whitmore in that second unit is fire. And that first game, Cam Whitmore is being real aggressive, getting downhill, kicking it out to Trey Johnson. And Trey Johnson, corner three, is money. And he's just so calm out there. I will say that when I first noticed Trey Johnson, I was like, man, he looked kind of little out there. He looked real small out there. But he's got heart, man, and he's not. And it just looks very controlled. He looks comfortable on an NBA court. He doesn't look phased at all. He's not like I'm just go out here, I'm gonna do me and I'm gonna get buckets. And I've noticed that they've been giving him a little bit of ball handling duties.
Mm-hmm.
I do know he's a two. But maybe he can develop and be that combo guy and also run some one eventually.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting to see because as you know, and as we all know, point guards aren't what point guards used to be when you and I were growing up, right?
That's true.
Point guards these days can come in all different shapes, sizes, and styles, right? So it'll be interesting to see if he can take some ball handling duties and show us something. I don't think that'll come quite yet. Once again, once guys that are touching the ball like McCollum and Middleton, if they're off the roster, then you'll see Trey get more of an opportunity. But I like what I see so far. I think he's averaging 16 right now, which is solid for a rookie. Like
Mm-hmm.
very solid. He hasn't been impressive like VJ Edgecombe, but he's looking real crazy out there. But
Mm-hmm.
for a number 6 pick, and for us to be upset that we dropped to a number 6 pick and we thought we were going to be like one of those top 3 and end up with Trey Johnson, and to see the production and the progress that he's made so far during this young season, I love it. Tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, like you said, like that jumper is smooth, and when they drafted him, I immediately looked up clips on YouTube of him, and I'm like, yeah, this kid could shoot. And I like did my research, and all the draft experts was talking about him as far as a shooter, like he's the best shooter in the draft. He had like crazy percentages as far as catch and shoot and coming off of pin downs in college, and then they even had like the NBA 3-point line percentages, which was like 40% already. So like the kid can absolutely shoot the ball. And this early in the league, he's already an offensive threat. But the one thing that I really like about him as well is like the ball handling, the shooting. He gets after on the boards. He averages 1.3 offensive rebounds, and he'll get crash from the wing, crash from the corners. He'll get the offensive rebound and get that little push shot in the paint and everything. I'm like, hey, like he got some good feel to the game. Like he doesn't
Mhm.
just stand around in the corner like a regular shooter and just kind of just linger around the perimeter. Like he'll try to get to the basket. He'll try to, get in the mid range as well, off pull ups, get offensive boards. So like I really like him. I remember when he got drafted, and he said he talked to Will Dawkins about his defensive effort and how Will felt like he kind of took plays off defensively. He was like he
Mm.
really wants to work on that, and it seems like he's really working on that. Like he's taking on guarding some players, and he's really getting after defensively, getting after on the boards. Sometimes he'll pick up someone full court or from half court. So like I really like how this kid is playing. I feel like he has the potential to really become one of the go-to guys with this team as far
Yep.
as shooting guards. Honestly, I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about the whole Bub Carrington thing. I'm like, if they decide to, have Bub come off the bench for a little bit, why not give Trey Johnson a look as a starter? Like, why not? Because like he's able to shoot the ball, play off the ball really well. As far as Bub, he's not well versed off the ball like Trey is. So why not give him an opportunity to see where he is with that first unit? So I really like this kid. Like I'm really impressed by him.
I had a video out the other day, man, where I said, dude, should Trey Johnson be starting? Should Trey Johnson be getting more minutes than Bub Carrington? I mean, listen, we're not here to hurt feelings. We're here to keep it real. Business is
Mhm.
business. And I could see him in that starting lineup with CJ McCollum. And he can, like I said, I feel like they've been giving him Trey Johnson some ball handling duties lately. Let's see what he can do with it, right? I mean, this is a trial and error season. Let's see what these guys can do. So why not? Why not? And then, like you said, like you mentioned earlier, getting Bub with the second unit to go against those players off the bench, maybe that'll help get his confidence up. And then maybe he can really develop a role off the bench with Cam Whitmore, who we're going to talk about next. But it just feels so good when the young players are hooping, man. And like you said, Trey Johnson, he's not, he's been labeled a shooter, but he's like, no, y'all not just gonna label me a shooter. You know, I'm gonna work hard, play defense. I'm gonna get on the boards. His next step would be to develop some playmaking skills, right? Something that maybe not he might not develop and show this season, but maybe he'll go work on that this offseason. And you'll see some growth from that in his sophomore season. So excited to see where he goes as a pro. I do like to compare him to when we drafted Bradley Beal, who was another shooting guard about the same size, and Bradley Beal was labeled a shooter. Obviously, if we're comparing both of these guys, you can see that Trey Johnson's offensive game is more developed than when we drafted Bradley Beal, because Bradley Beal was more of a spot-up shooter when we drafted him, and he started to develop more of the off-the-bounce stuff. Trey's already kind of got that. So it'll be interesting to see where Trey Johnson takes it from here. He's been showing the confidence. I like it. And he fits right into our young core. So we're both pretty high on Trey Johnson and excited to see more of him for sure. Let's talk about Cam Whitmore, who is a physical beast out there. I mean, he looked like he about 250, which he might be,
I think he's
honestly.
250.
Yeah, 6'8", 250. But when he's getting downhill, I mean, he is a hard guy to stop, man. He's looking for contact. He's going to the cup. He's thrown down like maybe 2 or 3 monster dunks this season. That oop that Keyshawn threw to him when Keyshawn got the steal,
That was crazy.
that was crazy. That was crazy. And I like Cam Whitmore. I think that in Houston, he wasn't going to get the opportunity that he's getting right now. And I think the Rockets did him a solid. and I think they did us a solid too.
Yeah.
Because I think we got him for what, like a ham sandwich or you know, uh, and a Capri Sun. You know what I mean? So we got him. We got him for a pretty good value. And he's coming home. He's from here. He's from DC. They always tell people don't play where you from, but I don't think that's going to bother this kid because I think he's got something to prove and something to show. So what I've seen from him this season has been, I want to call it, I don't want to say it's a mixed bag, but I want to say that he's very aggressive, and I think that can be a gift and a curse, right? So he can be aggressive and make big plays because aggressive players make big plays, right? But you can also see them make some bad decisions, maybe they're a little too overconfident. But if I were in Cam Whitmore's ear, I would tell him to keep being aggressive, young boy.
Mhm.
Keep doing what you're doing. I think there was a clip on social media going around where he was a little frustrated and got into it with the coaching staff.
Mhm.
People always want to make headlines, but I don't think that's a big deal. That just shows that he's passionate about the
Yeah.
game and he's confident. So tell me what you think about Cam Whitmore.
Yeah, like you said, physical specimen out there. Walking highlight reel when it comes to dunks and going the fast break. Man, he's gonna get downhill. He's gonna hit you with that shoulder, take the contact, get an and one on you. So like, I really like Cam Whitmore. I liked him when he was in Houston. I felt like he should have got more minutes over there, but Ime's in win now mode, even though they're still kind of developing. Cam probably didn't fit the I don't want to say the mold that Ime was trying to put with his players, but I feel like Cam probably looked at himself as a star, and Ime probably humbled him, and it happens. It happens to a lot of players in this league, but Cam has a second opportunity to come to a new situation, come home basically to play with his hometown team and really be part of something special. So I really like him. I really like the move that of Washington getting him. I like I said before, man, it's like you got so many wings. Like, how are we gonna make this work with these young players and the minutes law? Because it's hard to get everybody minutes. I hope they're able to unload some of these players so we can have like a solid foundation of young players and still some vets. Solid foundation of young players. That, all right, we know what these players are going to do. We know they're going to get these type of minutes. Give them, give them a longer leash to, make mistakes and learn on the fly and learn from experience and not just kind of, like, all right, I don't think the Wizards are doing this, but like you play them and then they make a mistake and then you pull them. Like, I don't think the Wizards are doing that, but I don't want them to be in a situation where they might have to do that. I feel like Houston kind of did that with Cam Whitmore last year. Like, Cam had his moments when he makes mistakes, which is, he's young. So, and then Ime will pull him quick. I think Cam said something about that, like it feels good to not having to play on a team where you're not looking over your shoulder all the time and feel like you're gonna
Yeah.
get pulled anytime you're gonna make a mistake. So a lot of young players want that type of freedom. So I'm really happy that he's getting this opportunity.
Yeah, I like it too. He from around the way,
Yeah.
hometown guy. So we gonna support him, man. And one thing I've been calling him early in the season, I was telling people on Twitter, I said Cam is a bully and a bucket. Like he's I think like the first play I seen him score as a Wizard, he literally took that shoulder, pushed his man, get little boy, sit down. Let me get this lay right now. You in the way right now. And you gotta I think that his role could be perfect off the bench for the future. That guy off the bench that is a microwave, come in, kill the second unit. One guy was comparing. I was like, man, he could probably be like a more physically imposing J.R. Smith off the bench. Because
Mm.
don't forget that Cam Whitmore got J work, right? He got J work, but he can get downhill too. And I noticed on podcast Paul George podcast, I think they asked him like who's one dude in the league or one young guy that da 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 da. He was like Cam Whitmore. Like y'all should go look at that clip where Paul George talked about Cam Whitmore and when you got a guy of Paul George caliber in the league, singling out a guy like Cam Whitmore, it means a lot. It means a lot. Like these NBA players, they know each other. They're on the court with each other. They talk. They're in different circles than guys like you and I and fans and media. These players, they know each other very well, right? So for Cam to get that praise from Paul George, that just says a lot, man. So I really hope that Cam Whitmore can be a part of this core moving forward. I think he will be. I don't know if he's a starter. I don't know. I could be wrong. I do think but I do think he'll be one of those guys off the bench that come in and just go to work.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that 100%.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on to Corey Kispert, a guy he's been here. He's been here for a while, man. He's a Tommy Shepard guy, right? I don't Will Dawkins Don. That's not a Will Dawkins guy, but Will Dawkins did reward him with a pretty decent contract. It wasn't nothing crazy and it wasn't nothing low. It was a contract that could be moved. You know, if Corey Kispert shows some value. I don't know if Corey Kispert fits the timeline of the young guys that we have. So I think Will Dawkins re-signing him was more about, let's keep him here. Let's, see that he shows and provides value for a team that's looking for obviously what would be a shooter, right? Because Corey Kispert's profile fits at this point in his career, he's a 3-point specialist. We would have hoped he developed into a 3 and D, but he doesn't have that D part. Balls. So I think the effort is there on defense. He just don't got it. He just don't got it. But what I do see from Kispert, I wish that I think he shot 38% from 3 last year. I think if you're going to be considered a 3-point specialist, you should definitely be over 40%. Because if that's what you do, that's what you do. That's what you're in the game. You're a Duncan Robinson. You're in the game to shoot threes, right? It would not be nice for him to get that up to 40%. I don't know what he's on for the year. He's had like 2 games where he was hot, especially that game. There was one game he had like 3 threes in the third quarter. I forgot what game that was, but he had like 2 games where he got hot. So he's kind of like on and off. But if he's not shooting threes, what is he doing?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I would have loved. I've seen this from him a little bit, and I want to know your thoughts on this. I've seen Corey Kispert catch the ball at the 3-point line, fake and drive, and be successful making a layup. I just don't see it. I've seen flashes of it. I don't see it consistently. I think if he were to add that to his game, and it's not about just driving to the basket and making a layup. You want to create a mismatch situations where you can dish it off to the open man, cut into the basket. So if Corey Kispert were to add that to his game, I think that he could be a trade asset. Yeah. What do you think about Corey Kispert?
Yeah. You would think he's projected to be the best shooter on the team. Right now, he's shooting 33% from 3. And like you said, he does have some success taking off the bounce to get to the basket. But there's one thing I really noticed about him too. He's a really good cutter off the ball. Like he'll cut baseline or cut off from the wing, and he'll to that basket. He'll dunk on you. So he got some athleticism with him, sneaky athleticism. So he got it. So I feel like if a team was to try to get him a contender, hey, maybe we can package him with Chris Middleton if we decide to move both of them. Like that would clear up a lot of the wing space. I don't know, man. Like a lot of people on Twitter are very bullish on Corey over the last year or two. But Corey has his moments where he's up and then he's streaky, to say the least. He's streaky. Still think he has a place in the NBA. Shooters are in high demand, of course. In a situation where he could be on a team with like a lead ball handler who can really set him up, and they run him off pin downs and screens, and yeah, definitely see him becoming a 40% shooter. It's all about confidence with shooting, though. Last year, actually, I asked him about he went through like a mean shooting slump throughout the year. So I asked him about that. How do you break out of like shooting slumps like that? He said, just keep shooting. Like eventually it's gonna fall. I just have to have the confidence to keep shooting it, and eventually I see one fall, then just have the mentality that the next one's gonna fall. it's going to start coming together for him sometime throughout this season. Just feel like the structure of the offense is still in works right now, so he's probably still trying to figure out his spots, how the plays are ran for him, and how it's going to impact the game. Because you know, he's been with, I want to say, 3 different coaches since he's been in the league now, I think.
Good point. Good
Yeah,
point. Yep.
yeah. So
Yeah. A lot of
I think
turnover.
yeah, it's a lot of turnover. So you know your role is probably changing a lot over these years since you came into the league. So that could be a thing as well. So, um, I don't know. With Keith being here, basically 1.5 years as assistant coach so far, and well, technically 2, because yeah, 2, yeah, 2.5, because he was with us full last year, half a year of the Jordan Poole year, and then this will be. So, maybe Keith can find a way to utilize him. But we just have to see what happens. But I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if he's packaged somewhere.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think you're right. He probably will be packaged somewhere because we got to clear up some of these minutes on the wing. And it's obviously we got time. We got November, December, January to get it all figured out. It'll be figured out by January, guaranteed. And we'll know who's going to get moved and who's not. So, yeah, Corey Kispert, one of the longest tenured Wizards on the roster.
Yeah, he is the longest tenured Wizard at this point.
Him and Anthony Gill, they might be
Yep.
competing. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll move on to a guy that this guy's entertaining, man. He's funny to me. He's got some bounce to his game, and like it's not awkward. It's just a funny way he plays. AJ Johnson, I mean, he's just a ball of energy, man. He doesn't lack any confidence. Like he is confident to the ceiling. He hasn't had much burn as he had last season. He came over in that Bucks trade with Chris Middleton.
Mm-hmm.
When we traded Kuzma. He is a first round draft pick, I think somewhere in the early 20s. I like his game. He was exciting to watch, and he really can get what I like about AJ Johnson is he can get to the bucket. He can
Yeah.
get to the cup, and he was so like frail and skinny last season. I'm like, look at this young little boy getting to the cup, man. And I know that he bulked up this offseason and put on some weight. He just hasn't had the time in the rotation to show it. And I mean, it'll come, his time will come where he can get back out there and get some consistent minutes. I don't know when it will come or how it will come. The only way I know it will come is obviously injury, right? And somebody's got to step up, trade, and then he gets more minutes. We shall see. But Trey Johnson is I thought he was going to get more minutes this season, and we'll see. We'll see. How the coaching staff moves forward with AJ Johnson, but he's got a lot of potential, man. He was cooking at the end of last season. What do you think about AJ?
Yeah, it's noted that he was hurt this offseason as well. So I think he's still kind of managing the injury. He didn't play any of the preseason, and I don't think he played the first game of the season.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't healthy for those games. He was available for the last few games. Didn't play much, like you said. But yeah, he's just a ball of energy. Like he had some crazy plays last year. A skinny kid, he's attacking that basket fearlessly. Like he's gonna go in there and try to dunk on you. So I feel like for him, it all comes with just getting minutes and just trying to prove that he can produce. Because like we seen the highlights last year, we seen what he can do. It's able to do it consistently. Like a lot of people thought he would be Twitter. People thought he would kind of be like our future guard. Him and Bub. As of yet, he hasn't really had the opportunity to show if he can do that or not. A lot of people were excited to get him in the trade. I mean, he was the 23rd pick last year. Like Will Dawkins went out, got him with the Kuzma trade. Dawkins was high on him, so I believe in him as well. If Dawkins is high on him, so
Yep.
I'm not the GM, so I just have to trust what the GM is saying, and I feel like he's doing the right things. I'm excited to see how things progress with him as well with AJ. Hopefully he'll get the opportunity because yeah, I mean, Jordan Poole has said, Capital One Arena is don't have like the fans cheering and everything. I feel like for one, that's a lie, but I
Yeah,
feel like
that's a lot.
AJ can bring the hypeness to the crowd. Like he can bring the flair that
Yeah.
like the exciting factor. Like, oh, like what's this guy doing? Like his guy's jumping out the gym. So that
Yeah,
I feel
there's
like
some
that really
potential.
need to get something. Yeah.
There's some potential there. He needs an opportunity. I'm tired of Jordan Poole talking, sending shots at us, man. That's 2 shots in like a month, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
That's two
sending
shots.
shots at us during training camp. He said that he hadn't had a good pick in 2 years. That's a shot at our bigs, number one. Now he's shooting shots at the fans. Like, bro, you're in a good situation. Why are you concerned about us, man? Like, what do we do? But it's all good. It's all good. I can't wait till the Pelicans come here, man.
Oh, they're gonna boo him.
They gonna boo him, man. I think we got to go to that game. Check it out.
Yeah.
So AJ needs more opportunities. I think he'll get it, and I think when he get it, he's gonna prove himself. So we shall see. Next guy we drafted, he's a rookie. Will Riley. Will Riley actually showed some moments in the preseason, if you remember.
Yeah.
He thought he had a game winner until Alex Sarr's brother pulled off some magic. Yeah, some miraculous. But Will Riley was balling that game. I was really surprised. I didn't know what to expect from him. I mean, every time you draft a wing player in that post lottery range, 15 on, you're thinking the guy's going to be a 3-and-D, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case with a guy like Keyshawn George. He was drafted in that range, and he's not just a 3-and-D, right? So what do we
Yes.
have in Will Riley? I don't know. I think he's got to get out there. I've seen him on the court a few times, obviously during like garbage time.
Mm-hmm.
But Keith, I don't know. Keith is like just. I think he's just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've been noticing he's been doing that last game because at first he wasn't playing. Like I seen him throw Will Riley out there. I seen him throw Vucevic out there. I seen him throw Champagny out there. And it's like, all right, well, where were these guys the first 2 games? Like now you just trying stuff. But hey, I like to see it. I want to see our young players on the floor. I want to see what they can do. And
Mm.
what do you think we have in Will Riley? What are your thoughts on him? Will Riley.
Yeah. With Will, I wasn't too sure about like his game, but when I see him in the preseason, I'm like really long athlete, 6'10", like a legit 6'10". Has some good ball handling skills too and playmaking skills for his size. Like he show flashes where he can play make off the bounce, can score. He gets to the line too for like a skinny guy who kind of just wiry out there. Like he knows how to use his body to get to the line as well. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he has some potential to be part of this core. Be honest with you, I would like to see him in the G League as well for a
Okay.
little bit, so he can get some minutes with some reps and everything, and not just be sitting on the bench. I would have thought that he would have probably put him to a 2-way contract. But yeah, like I like the potential of this kid. Be honest with you, I see a lot of Keyshawn George in him. Like I feel like they have similar games a little bit. Yes.
I was thinking that too. I think Will Riley, I agree with you. He should go play with the go-go, get some minutes down there, get his experience up and get his confidence up. I think Will Riley will show flashes this season. It'll probably be late. And then I think that we can expect and hope that Will Riley makes a jump, some kind of jump in his second year. Next year, next offseason, I'm sure he's going to get stronger. He's going to get bigger. And he looked like you said, he's like a 6'10". If he can really put some weight on that frame, and get that NBA body within the first 2 years, 3 years in the league,
Yep.
we might have something. I believe we have a GM that has an eye for talent. And now he's starting to be able to pick his guys, and he can really him and his scouting department can really get the guys they want. These aren't Shepard's guys. These aren't Ernie Grunfeld's guys. You know what I mean? These are Will Doghead's guys. So it'll be interesting to see the development of Will Riley. And I think the next guy we're going to talk about will probably join him in the G League. Amir Watkins, who we drafted, he's a rookie as well, drafted in the second round. I think he will definitely benefit from going to the Go-Go G League, and really getting some experience there, getting some reps, getting some minutes. See what you got with him. From what I know about him, I think he profiles as a defender, a stopper, a hustle player, a guy that's going to go out there and give you some energy on the court. And every team needs that. You know, I really thought we had that with Justin Shambani, what we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
I feel like these guys are kind of similar players in a bit. Yeah, Jameer Watkins. What do you think about him? Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, he, like I said, projected to be a defensive player. He had a crazy 9 steal game in the summer league. I think he broke the record for steals in the game in summer league. So I hope he gets more minutes down in G League, get some reps down there. Don't see him playing much with the Wizards main team this season. So go down there, tear it up down there. Prove that you should be on the Wizards main roster with your defense, and you develop your scoring. And I feel like like the what is he, like 6'7" as well?
I think he's like 6'6", in that
Yeah.
range, 6'6".
Yes. 6'6", 6'7". Yeah. So like Will Dawkins has a thing with for players, two-way players with size. So we know what type of players he likes. So he fits that mold. So um I feel like you can develop him into something as well. Just gotta give him time. He's actually the older one of the rookies we drafted this year.
Okay, because he was in the second round, so that's usually when the older rookies are
Yeah,
drafted.
so he was born in 2001, so he's actually older than.
Did you just say he was born before Y2K?
No, but for AJ.
Oh, no, I meant like you said he was born in 2001?
Oh, 2001, yeah, 2001.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Making
Mm-hmm.
me feel kind of old, man. That was before 2000 Y2K when they said everything was going to shut down.
Oh, yeah, that's
He
true.
didn't even
Yep, exactly. He's 24.
Wow. Okay.
So think about it like this: him,
Yep.
Champagne,
Yep.
and Sharif Cooper are all the same age.
Okay. Interesting. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty older for a rookie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. So you just mentioned a guy we're going to transition to who I like. Justin
Mm-hmm.
Champagnie. I like to call him Justin Champagne. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? My guy, man, he be hustling, man. Last season, he's the hustle, man. I don't know. It seems like Keith is starting to incorporate him in the rotation a little bit, give him some
Mm-hmm.
minutes.
Yeah.
But last season, man, he was on them boards, just getting
Mm-hmm.
boards and
Yep.
just being like, just working. I just remember him last season working. And I ain't gonna lie, man, like towards the end of the season, I started putting him on my parlays, man. And he was covering like points. He was covering, I could put him on 10 points,
Mm-hmm.
cover 6 rebounds. He was getting that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And but it's tough because like you said, Will Dawkins, he's got his prototype, he's got his mold of type of players he wants. He's bringing
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of wings.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Justin is a wing player. So sometimes it's just not enough minutes there for everybody to get their shine. He has a twin brother that plays for the Spurs. He's pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
And I like him, man. I want to see him get more minutes. And I think that he could be a part of the core moving forward. What do you think about Justin?
Yeah, I love Champagne's game. Like he gets after on the boards. Like, he crashes offensive boards. Even
Yep.
like his little bit of minutes, he's still going out there playing hard. And then, he was a two-way player. He worked his way up into getting a standard NBA contract. And that shows the hard work, the dedication
Yep.
that he has towards his craft. And he talked about it last year. Like he said during his AAU days, the high school days, he always was like crashing the boards, going after the rebound because his mom played ball as well. So she instilled that hard work mentality in him. And to me, he needs to get more minutes. Like if we're going to commit to like these two-way wings who can hustle and do multiple things without just scoring,
Yep.
he should have a place in the rotation full time because he doesn't need to score the ball to make an impact on the game. Like he helped a lot of games with his rebounding last year. So he, like we mentioned multiple times on this pod, like the wings, like it's too many of them at this point. Like, so hopefully if some get cleared up, then he'll have a spot in the rotation.
Yeah. I do. I want to see him have success and be a part of this core. We'll see moving forward. I mean, I feel like he's been getting. I remember. I think during the preseason, everybody on Twitter was like, "Free Justin Champagne." I call him Champagne. Free Justin Champagne, man, because we didn't know where he was at. Where he at?
Yeah.
Keith, put him in. It's preseason. At least put him in. But he has gotten some minutes. I've seen him get him recently, so hopefully we'll see more of that. Next guy, we're almost at the end here. Next guy, I like Tristan Vucevic, and I liked him. He can shoot. You know, he's not. He's going to do what he do. You know what I mean? He's not going to overstep his boundaries. He's a big man that can shoot. Yeah, he get a few boards. He's not a rim protector, obviously. If you look at his per 36 numbers, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because when he gets in the minutes that he gets, he's productive in those minutes. Like he does what he's got to do. He does his job. He comes in and he does his job.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Tristan Vucevic, man. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's a good player. Like he really can shoot the ball. It's funny. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. He always seems to near the end of the season when things are like kind of like dying down.
Yeah.
Keith will throw him out there and he'll get you a good 15 to 20 just off catch and shoots and little mid range pull ups, and he's good, man. Like I feel like I thought when Bagley was gone and before we got him back this offseason, I feel like Tristan will be the backup to Sar. And I feel like sometimes you can kind of play them together, like because Sar can, guard on the perimeter a little bit. So why not give both of them a look together? Kind of like a little stretch 4-5 thing. But yeah, I mean, he's down in the G League as well. He'll get extra reps down there, but I feel like I just feel like he needs to get more minutes because, and like I like Bagley, I do, but I feel like Tristan should get the minutes over him. But I mean, I don't know what's happening in the practices. I don't know like who's like showing up for practice and really showing the hard work and really put into what they should bring to the team. So yeah, I mean, I like his game, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I feel like he played good in the Eurobasket too.
Yeah, I mean,
with the minutes he got.
Yeah, and he's the third big. Like,
yeah,
we only have 3 big men on his roster: Sar, Bagley, Vucevic. He should get more minutes, man. And I agree, he should be prioritized over Bagley. Nothing against Bagley, because he's very serviceable, but obviously we got to see what we got in our younger guys that we think that are going to be here long term. So Vucevic, we love his game and we want to see more from him. And we're already talking about Bagley, so let's move on to Bagley. Marvin Bagley, first of all, this is Bagley's 8th year? Correct me if I'm wrong, but
look at that.
And he's only like 26. That's the crazy thing. That's crazy. Marvin Bagley was
a high pick.
He was drafted number 2. So,
wow.
He was in that draft with Luka, Trae Young. I think the Kings wanted to draft Luka, but something about ownership wanted Bagley. I don't know. It was something there.
Yeah.
Bagley didn't turn out to be obviously what he was expected to be as a pro, but right now he's a serviceable big man. Will he be with us long term? Probably not. He's on a 1-year deal. He's here to back up Sar and come in and be a backup 5 and box out, get rebounds and get some points in the paint. So Bagley, what are your thoughts on Bagley?
Yeah. When he got drafted, I was higher on him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a Duke guy. Like I like the Duke players and everything.
Sure.
I was higher on him, but like the injuries really played him. Didn't think he should have went number 2. Thought he should have been like a mid top 10. Like 5th, 6th, or 7th, something like that. Rightfully, Luka, Trae Young. That draft was loaded. So
yeah. For sure.
But yeah, I feel like the injuries really hurt his development as far as a player, but still very serviceable, solid, big. He has his moments when he really shows out. Like he had a decent game last night too. He's Like he played really good last night. So I feel like he has his moments. But yeah, I mean, he's on a 1 year deal. When they traded him to Memphis, I thought, all right, well, he's gone. He won't come back. Maybe he'll stay with Memphis, but he'll make his way back. Like I guess he loves being with the Wizards. So which is a good thing. That's very encouraging. Like, with all the stuff that the vets are saying about the team, with CJ McCollum saying like, he feels good about, what the team's direction is, them building the locker room, and then Marvin Bagley coming back with the team. Like, I feel like they're building a culture that can show like, all right, like if I'm a vet, where do I want to go? And maybe Washington, even though you're not a winning situation, but if I want to, do a 1 year deal, go there, get my numbers up, get my money, and go to a better situation, they play my contract out, I can go there and I won't feel bad about doing it and being there. God knows what situation, bad situation, like if you go to like another team, and like people call like other teams like wastelands, like
Yeah,
Sacramento,
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
We're not a wasteland. We're not a wasteland anymore. We used to
Yeah.
be. We used to be. I'll be honest. Guys didn't want to come to DC, man. We had some silly young guys, man. Andre Blatch,
Or
Swaggy P,
don't even
JaVale
remind me.
McGee. Imagine coming to play with these guys, man. Led by Gil. Led by
Mm,
Gil. All right.
mm.
So it's good to hear that players want to come here and they're okay with coming here. Hey, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at you, Bagley. Come get your bag, brother. We'll give you a little bag and let you showcase your talent so you can get another contract, get your little 2-3 year deal. Come on, man. All right, Malachi Branham. I don't really know too much about him. I know we got him from the Spurs. I think you were telling me some things about him. I'll let you go ahead and take it from here. You were telling me some solid things about him.
Yeah, he had his moments with the Spurs where I don't see him as a point guard, but he had his moments. But there was a lot of injuries that year. It was like his rookie year. Pop kind of just threw him out there, and he was playing point guard a lot, and he was showing out for a little bit. Like he played good. He was really kind of like a combo guard, but at this point, I'm not sure what the situation will be for him going forward. Like, I don't know if they decide to keep him or not.
Yeah.
So, he hasn't played yet this season, so I don't know if it's like injuries or anything like that, but we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, I've seen him in street clothes. Not sure what's going on with him, but we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, I guess not too much we don't know anything until we see it. So we'll wait to him. We'll probably talk about him maybe midway through the season. We'll revisit this and maybe we'll have more to say about Malachi Branham. So next up, like we said, one of the longest tenured Wizards, Anthony Gill.
It's the vibes.
Yeah, Anthony Gill he must love being here. He must love DC. He must love the organization. I mean, I guess he's got a pretty solid gig, man. He don't really got to play. He can mentor the young guys and I think that the Wizards organization sees some value in Anthony Gill. He's here for a reason. He's probably a good locker room guy.
Yeah, I mean, from the time that I've saw him and spoke to him, he's really polite, really respectful. One time I was in the locker room and everything, the media room with him. Came up, shook
Sure.
my hand and everything. Like he's really cool guy, really nice. He just seems like he's a really good dude for the locker room. Very encouraging for the players. Just kind of, like positive vibes all the time. Like that's what all I get from him. Positive vibes. And yeah, I mean, he's a vet. I mean, he's not gonna get a lot of minutes. He'll probably get thrown out there like garbage time.
Yeah.
He'll probably get you like 2 or 4 points or whatever. But I like him, man. Like he might be like our Udonis Haslam.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And if he has a positive impact on the locker room, I'll take it, man. All day.
Mm-hmm. For
All
sure.
day. Last guy on the roster, Sharif Cooper. Now, let me give y'all a little brief history on Sharif Cooper. So, Amari Cooper really, really, really wanted to come to DC, guys. I mean, him and his father, not his father, so his agent,
Ace
which
Bailey.
is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Ace Bailey. Yeah, so Ace Bailey really, really wanted to come to the Wizards, guys. And he, his agent is Sharif Cooper's dad. Okay, so obviously we all know Ace Bailey ended up with the Utah Jazz. Well, look who ended up on the Wizards roster. The son of the agent of Ace Bailey, guys. I'm not saying he got a roster spot because of the pre-draft connection. I don't really know too much about him. Maybe you could tell us anything that you know about him.
Be honest with you, I don't know much. I know Ace
Yeah.
Bailey wanted to come here. Sharif, Sharif, honestly, when he got drafted to Atlanta, I thought he was a good backup to Trey Young.
Mm.
So I don't know the connection between him coming here and his pops and everything. I know Ace Bailey dropped Chief's father manager recently. So I don't know the exact story or situation about that, but seemed like a lot of people didn't like the idea of him being Ace's manager, and it probably tanked his stock as well. So yeah, I mean Sharif is here, and Sharif is a decent player to me. Like I feel like he's undersized though, but not sure he'll be here long term.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, nothing much really I can say about what's going to happen with him at this point because I haven't heard anything, I haven't seen anything, he hasn't played.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything either. Yeah. That wraps up our deep dive roster evaluation, man. It was a long road, but we had to do it. Somebody had to do it. So looking forward to the Wizards season. I'm glad we did this 4 games in because it gives us a little idea of what we have on the roster. We play tomorrow. Who we play tomorrow? I'm sorry.
Oklahoma City.
My goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it in Oklahoma?
It's in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is 5-0 right now.
To take my headphones off and breathe for that one. But let's see. You never know, man. You never know. I think Chet is hurt. Chet is out.
Think he's either
Think Chet is
questionable
out.
or he's
Yeah.
out.
So cool. We'll see. Look, it's a good test for our guys going
Mm-hmm.
against a championship team. And let's see who's gonna guard Shea. Hey, Keyshawn
And
George, what's up?
Keyshawn,
Kakula Bali, what up? You got the
yeah,
MVP coming at you. What's good? So
yeah. Kuba's coming back, so you may, that would be interesting to see. Mm-hmm.
interesting to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see what happens. And you and I are always live during the game
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, on the story, on Twitter. So make sure y'all join us during the game. And anything left for you to say? Well, we out of here. What's up?
So, yep, I just checked. Chet will
Yeah.
miss tomorrow's game.
All right, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Okay, yeah, Chet will miss tomorrow's game with lower back soreness. So
Okay, cool. We'll
maybe
take it.
Star will have another great game, but we'll see how the game goes.
We shall see how that game goes. Yeah. All right, Jarrett. Stop and Pop Media. I appreciate you jumping by, man. It was an honor to do this with you. We probably will give y'all more content together this season, so be on the lookout for that. Is there any place you want to tell these people to follow you, or Instagram, Twitter,
You can
TikTok?
follow me on Threads
Yeah.
and TikTok. It's JL underscore ON on underscore hoops HOPPS on Threads and TikTok. You can find all my stuff there. I always link my Substack to my post as well. So definitely check me out. Fred, thank you for having me on, brother. It was a pleasure. We've been trying to do this for a while and had to be done.
Had to be done, man. Had to be done. And many more to come. So appreciate you, Wiz Kids. We out of here, man. Let's get it.